Okay, I think I think we might be back. I think we might be back. Let's take a look on Restream to see. It says that we are visible on at least one Facebook page, the Manitoba Museum's Facebook page. That's excellent. Oh, and on the YouTube page, it's thinking about it, but it looks like we are reconnecting here. So let me Why does that work so slow? Okay.
I got you on the Manitoba Museum.
On Facebook or YouTube?
YouTube.
Yeah, okay, great. It still says sending data here, but we've got some folks on Facebook. Excellent. Hi, everybody. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We had my computer just decided it didn't want to play nice with the new network here. So thanks to our friend Tracy, she's hooked us up and we're all good to go, I think. So for those of you who are watching, please say hi in the chat and let me know that you can hear and or see me, so that I know everything's working, because I don't trust what my computer tells me because it's been lying to me most of the day. All right. So we're still fighting clouds. We are here at the University of Manitoba and we're looking at the lunar eclipse. At least that's the plan. The eclipse began about 20 minutes ago and you could hardly tell, even if the sky was clear. We're in what's called the penumbral phase, which is the outer shadow of the Earth, very, very faint. Most people probably wouldn't even notice it until, maybe 11:45 or so. That's when we'll start to notice that the left side of the moon is starting to get a little darker. Here we're using a simulated view while we wait for the clouds to clear, and we will be heading outside. And as soon as the clouds clear a little bit, we'll try and get the telescope camera onto it so that we can watch the thing live. So in the interim, please say hi. Let us know that you're watching. Oh, excellent. Thanks everyone for letting me know you can hear us. If you have any questions about the eclipse or astronomy in general, feel free to throw them into the chat as well. I'd love to know where you're watching from. Like, don't give me your address or anything, but just like, I'm from Texas or whatever. My bosses at the museum always like to know what kind of reach we have. So we're here with the Winnipeg Center of the Royal Astronomical Society of Canada and staff from the Manitoba Museum. Oh, hey, James and Dale. Oh, James! Uh, that's hilarious. James also texted me. Hello. He's sitting right next to me on his computer, and hey, everybody. It's nice to know that things are working. So good. Okay, at least we're able to communicate 6 feet apart. Modern technology is amazing, hey? Yeah, okay. Oh, Ed out there as well. Nice to see you. Lots of folks joining us in the chat, which is awesome. So, lunar eclipse night, the blood worm moon, which sounds like it's some kind of Lovecraftian horror story. Um, the blood part is what the media calls lunar eclipses because they turn red. The moon will turn red during the total phase, and so you can't just say red, you have to make it sound really intense. The worm moon is just the name of the full moon in March every year. It's whenever the full moon in March is, it's the worm moon, just like the one in September is the harvest moon, and the one in October is the hunter's moon. All the full moon names, um, I think they come from the Farmer's Almanac, which come from some of the indigenous peoples that lived in the area where the Farmer's Almanac was created. Actually, every group of people probably has their own name for the different moons. I mean, they're usually based on what season is coming. The March full moon indicates, okay, the worm moon, the earthworms are coming to the surface because the rain is happening. That probably wouldn't apply if you lived in a different part of the world, like say Australia or whatever. So these are just regional names, but they got all stuck together, and so I think this is the super duper blood worm moon or something like that. So we're going to be watching it, and as soon as these clouds clear up a little bit, we'll get the telescope set up onto it. Yeah, Lots of folks saying hello. Sweet Angel Girl 23, super excited to see this. Yeah, lunar eclipses are pretty cool. On the plus side, they last a long time, so you don't have to just go to a certain spot at a certain time and only a couple of minutes of eclipse or whatever. The entire continent of North America will be able to see this event, and it lasts 6 hours long. So that's a long time. It's pretty hard to miss something that is so long lived. The downside is that it's 6 hours long, and so to show you it, we have to be up here all night. So the plan is from uh, from now to watch the sky, and as soon as we get clear skies, we will start to observe the real moon. The view we're watching right now, this is from a program called Stellarium. It's a free planetarium program you can download yourself, and basically it simulates the sky. And so here's the full moon, and you might not see anything different here, but actually this side of the moon here, the left side, is a little bit less bright than it normally would be. It's very, very subtle kind of effect. It's not the kind of thing that someone would go and notice unless you're really familiar with the sky. But that's what's happening now. The moon is moving into the very faint outer layer of the Earth's shadow, and that's blocking a little bit of the sunlight that's coming to light up the moon. And that means that the moon is getting a little bit darker. So the eclipse is technically underway. I would say the good stuff really starts though when the partial eclipse starts. The Earth has the outer shadow, the penumbra, but it also has an inner dark shadow that's very well defined called the umbra, and that's when we'll actually see the curved shadow of the Earth cover up, and it looks like a cookie with a bite taken out of it kind of thing as the moon gets successively covered up by the shadow of the Earth. And about halfway through that, the moon has gotten dim enough that our eyes are not overpowered by the bright glare of the moon. And that's when you start to see the colors of the shadow. It's not a black shadow, it's basically red. And the reason for that is that when the moon goes into the shadow of the Earth, a little bit of light actually makes it into the Earth's shadow from the sun. It's bent by the Earth's atmosphere. So basically, it's the light from all the sunrises and all the sunsets all the way around the world at that time, that beautiful red-orange kind of color that we see at sunrise or sunset. That's the only light that hits the moon during the total eclipse and gives it that beautiful red color. So that's what the sort of the highlight is. Um, but it is a long event, and that's good because it means we have a good chance that we'll get at least some clear news here. James just went outside to check on the sky, and we're going to see what we can do. I will be popping in and out here so that I'm not going to be sitting here the whole time. You don't want to listen to me talk for 6 whole hours. So if you check back with us and I'm not here, it's probably because we're outside fiddling with the telescope and trying to make sure that we can get it all set up as soon as it clears up enough to get everything going. So if you have questions, drop them in the chat. We'll be back and forth, and we'll try and answer your questions, and we'll try and show you the eclipse. I'll be back in a little while, and we'll do a little bit more.